to Double Sleep MTG. I'm Guy. I want to apologize for getting this video a little late to y'all today. However, with being Postman, kind of wiping out our entire cache of just video stock we had, we posted a poll in our Discord to see if anyone wanted any of those videos still. The consensus was no, so we had to do a couple of nights of recording and try to get some videos back in stock for us so I can have them coming out to you across these next couple weeks. These next couple weeks will be videos of mainly Seth and I testing our tournament decks to try to figure out what we can do before the boil, because we just have to grind these out before the boil. And so without holding you up any further, let's get into this gameplay. We have a great one, and today we're joined by Spoobi and Youngsavo, the Top Tier Bangers Discord. They're a competitive CEDH Discord that hosts weekly online tournaments every week. So hop in there. It'll be linked down in the description below. Go check those guys out. Starting us off this week, we got Youngsavo on Malcolm and Vial Smasher. We got Spoobi playing Jolly Blue Man. Seth is on Najeela, and I'm on Sisay. Let's get into it. Savo starting us off, keeping a hand of Cavernous Souls, Volcanic Island, Rhystic Study, Dark Writ. His mulligans are Simian Spirit Guide, Mental Misstep, and Talion. Spoobi in second seat kept his hand warning us it's going to be toxic. Arid Mesa, Marsh Flats, Chrome Mox, Deafening Silence, Dauntless Dismantler, Treasure Nabber, and his mulligan was a Grand Abolisher. Seth is in third seat on the Molda 6, kept a hand of Command Tower, Ancient Tomb, Veil of Summer, Swan Song, Esper Sentinel, and New Tech, a Johnny Nikado Pariah. His mulligan was a Silence. I'm going last and keeping 7 with a Windswept Teeth, Ancient Tomb, Underground Sea, Cultist of the Absolute, Rhystic Study, Noble Hierarch, and Emil the Blessed.
Got my stickers. Unsanctioned is the biggest sticker. It's 5.
Start us off. Play a Volcanic Island as my land for turn. I'll ship it.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Play this Arid Mesa. Sack crack. I'll grab a Plateau and play this Deafening Silence. I'll pass the turn.
Draw. I'm gonna do a Command Tower. I'm gonna tap said Command Tower for a white. Esper Sentinel. After that, I will pass the turn. Guy, it's on you.
Draw. I'll play a Windswept Teeth, crack that Windswept Teeth to go get a Savannah. And off that Savannah, I'll cast a Noble Hierarch.
I will untap, upkeep, draw. Play a Cavern of Souls, naming pirates. I will tap for 2, play a Talisman of Dominance. I cannot pay for your Esper. If Talisman of Dominance is good, I will ship the turn.
I will draw.
Tap, upkeep, draw. I'll play this Marsh Flats. I'll grab a Sacred Foundry with that if that's cool. Tap, crack, lose a life. I'll tap both of those. Play a Dauntless Dismantler. I'm gonna search my land and probably pass.
Untap, draw. I'm gonna play an Ancient Tomb. I will cast an Ajani Pariah, Nikado Pariah. When Ajani enters the battlefield, I will get another 2/1 cat warrior. Youngsavo, I guess add insult to injury. Esper Sentinel's coming your way.
Thanks for coming on.
No blocks. Lose 1.
After that, guys, your turn.
Untap, upkeep, draw. Play an Ancient Tomb as my land for turn. I'll lose 2. I would like to cast a Rhystic Study. Pass turn.
Untap, upkeep. I would like to tap for 3. Attempt to cast my own Rhystic Study.
Trigger my Rhystic Study and Esper.
I missed your Rhystic.
Well,
yeah.
There.
If Rhystic's good, I will pass the turn.
I'm just debating on who now I have to hit now.
Untap,
Probably
upkeep,
still me.
draw. Damn, dude. That Rhystic is killer. Those Rhystics are killer. Fuck it. Mox Opal.
Trigger.
Are you paying it?
Not. I'll play the Springleaf Drum.
Huh.
Trigger Rhystics.
Oh, I can't. I lied.
Trigger your Deafening Silence.
I'm just screwed.
We were talking about right before this game how I took Deafening Silence out of my deck because of how screwed I usually made myself. You'll see how much it affects this game later, but this right here is just a prime example. I understand why it's there, but it hurts yourself a lot.
I can't even play my own. I can't. I'll just pass there.
Good old the Deafening Cuck.
Yeah, I'm dying to my own Deafening.
Been there many a times.
I'll do a mana cast a mana or cast. I'll play a mana conflict, and I will not play any pay any Rhystics, but I will cast a Najeela. Spooty, the Cat Warrior is coming your way, and a Johnny is coming at Guy, and then the 2 warriors are coming at Savo.
Johnny flips when a cat dies, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'll take the 2.
I will take
And
the
I also
1.
will take the 2.
After that, I will pass the turn, Guy. It's on you.
Tap.
I have 7 cards remaining in my hand.
Draw. Buy you as my land for turn. Go to discard. I will discard a Cultist of the Absolute. I will pass to you.
Untap, Upkeep, draw. To lose 1 life off of my talisman, cast a dark ritual.
There's an Esper trigger and a Ristic trigger.
I was thinking about just paying for the Ristic.
Cool. So on top of the Esper trigger, I will respond and hope Seth just doesn't have interaction. I will cast a Port of Calling for 2. Triggeristic, trigger Esper, I got nothing for it.
Draw off the Esper.
And I'll draw off the Ristic.
I will Swan Song.
Triggeristics.
You got it.
Show us that Pyroblast, Spooby.
He's the only one with the.
Yeah, that was the only shot. That was the only shot I had to take Seth down a peg.
I
Once
can't
again,
cast
we're
that.
dying to the deafening silence.
I knew it was a bad idea.
You get a bird, by the way, guy. You do get a blocker.
I have a Bowmaster.
Dark Rit's good.
I would like to cast an Abraid's Arisen Nightmare.
There's a Ristic trigger on Braids.
You may draw for that one. Chicken Reef as my land for turn, and I think I'll just ship it there.
Untap, upkeep, draw. I will cast a Springleaf Drum.
Esper and 2 Ristic triggers.
Esper and 2 Ristics.
Yep, I drew.
Draw.
And draw.
Tap
R.I.P.
Dauntless for a white, a red, and then I'm gonna pitch this Simian Spirit guy. Cast Jolly Balloon Man.
Trigger Ristics.
I cannot pay still. I will pass the turn.
Untap. We'll draw. Play an Exotic Orchard. I'm going to combat.
At the beginning of combat.
Okay.
I would like to tap for 2, and I would like to attempt to abrade Najeela.
Trigger Esper, triggeristic.
I cannot pay for either.
Yeah, that takes Najeela out. Youngsavo, since you just decided you wanted to kill Najeela, you take a cat.
Yeah, I'll take 2.
I'll play a Lotus Petal tap.
Trigger Ristic.
I will pay both of the Ristics. I will go to clean up, and I will put a Savine's Reclamation in my graveyard.
Dude, that's sus.
Untap.
No, it is not. Do not even think that.
Upkeep. Draw. Underground Sea is my land for turn. Lose 2. Cast a Smothering Tithe.
Ristic Study.
Trigger.
Esper
I'll pay for both. I will go to discard. In 10 cards in hand, I will discard a Gemstone Caverns, Delighted Halfling,
Oh my god, dude.
Emil. I will pass turn.
I will untap. Upkeep. Draw.
Trigger.
You may make your treasure. I will play this Emergence Song as my land for turn. Smothering Tide and Ristic Study combo is just so gross.
I top deck the Smothering Tide this turn.
Oh, that's so good for you, dude.
This is a good thing they come into play.
Shit, the fucking. I'm gonna call right now that if we lose this turn, the Dauntless Dismantler is the reason why.
Yeah. I'm gonna
that's
tap
not that good.
3 Malcolm. K9 Navigating.
Malcolm.
Triggeristic.
I will pay for the Ristic on Malcolm. Tap for 1 and cast a Reckless Lackey.
Triggeristic.
You may draw. I would like to go to my end step.
Yep.
Trigger Braids.
Yep.
Sacrifice Reckless Lackey. Each person can sack a creature. If not, they lose 2, and I'll draw a card.
I'll take the 2, Chris.
I'll take 2.
Okay, and I'll draw 2.
I
I
will.
will
2
not be.
Smothering Tide triggers.
My cat dies.
And a Johnny Flips. Gotta love free triggers.
I have no further actions. I'll pass.
Tap, upkeep, draw.
Trigger.
I will play this Chromox.
Triggeristics and Esper.
I mean, I'm not going to draw.
I'll draw. Seth, are you paying 2?
I will pay the 2.
We're at the Chromox imprint trigger.
Treasure Nabber.
The Dockside Extortionist at home.
I guess I'm gonna be wild with it. And I'm going to tap 4. Then I'm going to tap Springleaf Drum to tap Dauntless Dismantler for a red.
Yep.
And I'm gonna cast Zealous Conscripts.
Triggeristics. I draw mine.
I refuse to draw.
When Zealous Conscripts enters the battlefield, gain control of a target permanent until end of turn. Untap that permanent. It gains haste until end of turn. I'm gonna target the Ancient Tomb.
You got it.
All right, I'll tap Ancient Tomb Floating 1 to activate Jolly Balloon Man. I'll tap Jolly Balloon Man, copying Zealous Conscripts. Zealous Conscripts is into play. Have to untap Jolly. So I'm going to pay 1, tap Jolly Balloon Man to make a copy of Zealous Conscripts. Zealous Conscript enters. I'll untap the Dauntless. I'm gonna move to combat if that's cool. I'm gonna swing all of these at the Ajani. That's an Esper too, isn't it?
Am I the biggest threat here at the table?
No, but what am I gonna do to anybody else?
I'm pretty slow right now compared to everybody else.
I know you are. You got me thinking about it. I just feel like that's my best move, really.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, I'll block these 3.
Second main, I'm not gonna do anything, and I'll just move to end step. These die.
So we all forgot about the line of text on Blue Man where he doesn't work like Kiki Jiki. Blue Man turns them all into 1/1 flyers, therefore Seth couldn't have blocked with everything. He could have blocked the original Zealous Conscript, but the other two 1/1 flyers. Johnny should be put down to 1 loyalty here, and if Seth chose to block, he should only be down 1 creature. We just all kind of forgot.
On your end step, I'm gonna pay 1 life with the Mana Confluence, and I'm gonna cast a Vampiric Tutor.
Trigger both wristics.
You got it.
I think I'm gonna draw off this one, and I cannot pay for your Smothering Tithe.
We'll make another tap treasure. I will mental misstep that Vampiric Tutor.
Yep.
Damn, Seth. Homie can't catch a break.
Nope.
Thing is, you can still Dimcon Thoracle through a Deafening Silence, and if he's going for Tainted Pack instead of Dimcon, I can't counter it. A Triggeristic, I can't pay.
I'm not drawing off this one, though.
Okay, cool.
Draw. Verdant Catacomb. This is not good for me at all.
At least you have a really cool playmat. Ow.
After you killed Najeela, that kind of screwed me, so.
Hey man, I've just been sitting back and drawing cards since then. Actually, not even really. I've refused like 3 Ristic studies trying to keep the treasure count down.
I mean, guys pretty much got us next turn.
Seth, I want you to, please explain to me how I have you next turn. I want you to explain.
How many cards you got in your hand?
How
many cards you got in your hand?
I have 14 cards in hand, and I will sit here and play with my hand on the board. I think you might be.
I have 14 cards in my hand. I can't win.
You might be onto something too, Seth.
There ain't shit here through a Deafening Silence.
Do you have a legendary?
Yeah, it's 1 removal spell.
Yes, but there's not shit here through a Deafening Silence. What good is a legendary gonna do me with 1 activation?
You can activate for Urtai.
Not when Sisay's a 2/2. Sisay cannot win out of nowhere without haste. Therefore, it will require at least 2 activations and a legendary to get her to activate to that amount. And my Cultist of the Absolute is in my graveyard.
Crack the Verdant Catacomb. Do it, Underground Sea. I will cast Najeela.
Triggeristics.
You got it.
Refuse to draw.
I will draw.
I'm gonna Johnny, a Cat Warrior, 0 at Johnny. I'm gonna deal 2 damage to Malcolm. If you control a red permanent other than a Johnny Nakado Avenger, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target.
No effects. Malcolm will die.
I will pass the turn.
Untap. Keep and draw. Plateau is my land for turn. Or I'm going to kill myself with a tomb. I will tap it this way to cast a Sisay. Triggeristic.
I will not draw.
To cast a Demonic Tutor. Triggeristic.
I will draw.
I will make a tap treasure.
Yeah, it's good.
I pass on.
I like to cast a Cutzel. I can promise you I'm not winning this turn.
Yeah, this turn.
Yep.
I will draw.
Right. Cutzel resolves. I will spend 4 to cast the card that I tutored for. Drawn in Limvala. It is a flying vigilance 3/4. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. Drawn in Limvala has all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. I may spend mana Zote or mana of any color to activate. I will go to discard 9 cards in hand. I will discard Verdant Catacombs and Volcanic Island. Pass turn.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw.
Trigger Tithe.
Yeah, you may make your treasure. Play a snow-covered swamp as my land for turn. After 3, I'll lose a life. I would like to cast a Valley Flood cover.
Triggeristic.
You may draw. Pass this Vampiric Tutor.
Triggeristic.
You may draw.
I'll do the mental misstep and I'll pay your 1. I'll pay the
Pay my 1?
3. I'll pay the 3 life. Yes.
Okay.
So I'll draw.
I think that's it. I will move to end step, trigger braids, sack the Ristic study.
I will take the 2.
I'll take the 2 as well.
We'll take the 2 as well.
It's
I will draw.
3 treasures.
Untap, upkeep, draw.
Trigger Tithe.
Not paying for tithe. I can't do much. I'll just pass the turn.
On your end step, I would like to flash in a Lotus Spell.
Triggeristic.
I will pay for the Ristic.
Pass the turn.
Untap. I will draw my card for turn.
Trigger Tithe.
You get it. I will go Tropical Island. We will go to combat. I'll swing a Cat Warrior and a Najeela. I make 2 more warriors, so it's 5, 6, 7.
You need all that to go through
I can't have any of my creatures die.
in order to kill his.
I have to have 4.
Limvala?
I have to have 4 creatures on the board. And I have to have a red permanent.
So 7 damage.
I will go to second main. I will activate Johnny, creating another cat. I control a red permanent. I've got the damage. I can send the damage somewhere. Is the Limvala just a red herring here, or is that a win con with I mean, because if I pick the wrong card and the Cutzel's there, he just still wins.
By playing against it, I realized that there's no real answer to Sisay other than killing the Sisay.
Killing the Linvala in order for you to use your Dauntless Dismantler to put him back 8 mana is the right move.
I will go ahead and hit the Lamvala with the 5 damage that is coming from a Johnny.
Seth was right. I did not care about the Drawn and Lamvala. I wanted the protection of the Cutzel, and I put that out there just because it was stopping the Dauntless, which also looks terrifying to them. So I knew if I had that out there, whatever Smothering Tide did would just draw a target to Drawn and Lamvala, and it would just leave the Cutzel on the board likely. Cool.
I'll go to instep.
I'll respond. I'm going to activate Dauntless Dismantler, sacking it for 0.
Hey, bud.
And pass the turn to Guy.
Cool. Anything else before my turn?
I will flash in this LED.
Triggeristic.
I will pay for it.
To go to my turn. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Scrub land for turn. I will pay green and 1, floating 1. Cast a Bloom Tender. Pay 5, put a Sisay activation on the stack. 5R onto the battlefield. Tap Bloom Tender for Sans Red. I will -3 5R. I'm good to concede. What do I even have in here? Delighted Halfling, bitch. I have a Delighted Halfling back on the battlefield. I can now tap the Delighted Halfling for a red mana, play an uncounterable Ragavan, tap Bloom Tender for Wooburg. Cool. So there is a Derevi ETB untap this, tap this for Wooburg. Use that Wooburg to cast an Amanatu, leaving a green and a red floating. Minus Amanatu to flicker Derevi, untap, have red and green floating, tap Bloom Tender for Wooburg, put a Sisay activation on the stack. How this has to go. Have a red and green floating still. Sisay activation, put Savala onto the battlefield. Sisay is currently at 7. Use the green I had floating, leaving a red. Tap Savala for Wooburg, +2 green. Throw a Sisay activation on the stack. Now I can go get Emil and generate infinite mana that I have 3.
Are you
floating.
sure?
No, I can go get Agatha's Soul Cauldron because Emil got discarded at the beginning of the fucking game. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Nope, that comes in tap. Shit. Oh, Dauntless is gone. Okay, if my dumbass would have realized that Dauntless was gone, this would have been so much simpler. Activate Agatha's, exile Emil, putting 1/1 counter onto Sisay. No, make Sisay an 8/8, and I have 3 floating. I would then like to use Emil's ability to start flickering Bloom Tender to generate infinite mana.
Yep.
And once I have infinite mana, I can filter it into my other lands and then go get Mount Doom, put it on the battlefield, and do the untap shenanigans. That game got so sloppy at the end. I think this game went almost 2 hours and it was getting late into the night. But somehow in the 30 seconds that it took to go from the Dauntless Dismantler being activated to my draw step, I forgot that it was off the board. I drew a Lotus Petal for turn, which would have completely alleviated the problem of me not having red. I could have used the Lotus Petal to cast the Ragavan in my hand and then activate Sisay for Tyvar, and Bloom Tender would have made Wooburg at that point, and I could have taken us 2 steps out of the process. I got there anyways. Yeah, we all knew I was the problem. As soon as that Smother Tithe hit the board, I was the problem. This game would have been so much more different if the Deafening Silence wasn't there. Sorry, the 3 blue players revealed their hand afterwards, and we all just had a grip of interaction, but we couldn't really get into a fight because of the Deafening Silence, or the interaction just wasn't relevant at the given time. So, once again, be careful with your sax pieces. Thank you again to Spoobi and Youngsavo for coming on. Go check out the Top Tier Bangers Discord. Link to it will be down in the description below, as well as links to all of our deck lists, as always, and the future events we plan on attending. Next weekend at the Lion's Eye Game Store in Jacksonville, North Carolina, will be a 1K equivalent. It'll be a tiered prize system. That'll all be linked down in the description below, involving a Grim Monolith, a Gaia's Cradle, and possibly a Tropical Island, all 3 of them, depending on attendance. So come check that out. Come support the stores. See you all there, or see you all at the Boil. Thank you. See you next week.